Hi, welcome to Saturn. Saturday listening.
Today is the third episode of our Saturn, and today we're going back online. As you guys can tell, we're going back to recording for today's episode, and that is because we're all going back to PTM 50%. So, for one or two reasons, we're not filming at school. Also, the reason why we're going back online is that because the COVID cases has been increasing, and yeah, talking about the increasing of COVID cases, some of you guys might feel like kind of like, why is it going back online? Offline was fun or something. Like, yeah, guys, things like this happens, and this is beyond our control. Just as today's topic, whatever happens, happens.
Yes, today we'll be talking about how to accept reality and how to deal with it.
When we're talking about reality, there is so many unexpected things happen in reality.
Yes, and talking about that, this going back to online school thing can be the good example of it. Such as maybe we were planning to shoot this Saturn, but suddenly we can't because of the increasing of COVID cases that makes us have to stay at home. But yeah, whatever happens, happens, right?
Yeah, whatever happens, happens. COVID cases increase. Okay, we'll go online for a while. It happens, and it's beyond our control. So let's just accept it and let's just deal with it. And that is not only applied to the accepting the fact that we have to go back online, but also about the other thing too, such as accepting the fate or accepting reality that is beyond our control. Like, sometimes we try everything we could, we tried our best, but if God says otherwise, all we have to do is we accept it and deal with it.
But accepting the facts and reality is not as easy as it sounds though.
I know, according to mhnational.org, sometimes in life we end up in a situation that we just can't change. Radical acceptance is all about fully accepting your reality in situations that are beyond your control. This doesn't mean you approve of the situation or giving up or that it isn't painful. You are still low and should feel however you feel, but by accepting that is what it is, you give the problem less power over you and you can begin to move forward.
There's so many examples of how hard it is to accept reality, such as maybe accepting the way you look, accepting the fact that you got 60 on the test, or even accepting rejection. Accepting rejection, such as maybe, but hopefully not, like you got rejected by dream school or your dream university. You know that could happen, but only how we behave and how we act for it, that's what's gonna affect the result.
Of course, and talking about rejection, I know how it feels being rejected by my dream school. Like, I blame myself all the time about why can't you be like the other? Why can't you get a perfect score so that you can get into that school? Something like that. But yeah, whatever happens, happens. If it should happen, then however hard we try not to let that happen, it'll happen eventually.
That's right, but we have a few tips on how to accept and deal with reality or maybe failure. According to MHA National Urge, first, notice when you are fighting against reality. The first step in accepting reality is gaining awareness that you are resisting it. It may seem like this would be easy to spot, but there are actually a lot of subtle ways that people push against reality. If you are feeling bitter or resentful, missing things were different, or thinking about how life is not fair, you might be fighting reality.
Yourself that you can change what has already happened. Before you can make peace with reality, you have to acknowledge that there's no going back to the way things were. Doing this may be challenging and painful, but by identifying what you can and can't control, you can turn your energy towards coping with the things you can change.
Third is to embrace your feelings. You might still be angry, scared, overwhelmed, or lonely. That's okay. Accepting reality includes everything that you're feeling too. When you accept these feelings and let yourself experience them without any judgment, you can work through them in a healthy way.
And the next tip is to pretend that you're accepting reality. Even if you're still struggling to fully accept the reality, think about what it would look like if you did. How would you act if you simply accepted things as they are? What would your next step be? Challenging your behavior and actions to reflect pretend acceptance. That can help you to actually shift your thoughts. It's just like fake it till you make it.
And the next one is relax your body. If you are feeling stressed or are pushing against the reality of your situation, there's a good chance your body is tense. This is often associated with resistance and keeps your mind on high alert. Basically, relaxing your body can help you feel more ready to accept what is reality. You can try yoga, taking a hot bath or shower, deep breathing exercise, or getting a massage to help you relax.
The next tips is to use coping statements. These are sentences that remind you that different, healthier way of thinking are possible. Repeating them Repeating them can help you get through difficult moments. You can focus on just one or make a long list of your own. Some examples are: it is what it is. I can change what has already happened. I can accept things the way they are. I can control my own action and reaction. If it helps, write your coping statements on post-it notes and put them in places where you will see them multiple times a day. Or set an alarm or create an event on your phone with a coping statement to pop up with a reminder every now and again.
The last but not least is to know that it takes practice. Radical acceptance is a great tool to cope with hard situations that we can't control, but it can take a while before it comes easily. Don't get down on yourself if you don't master it immediately. Starting by trying it out in smaller situations, like when you're stuck in traffic or your internet is acting up during a call. By practicing radical acceptance on a daily basis, it will be easier to use as coping tool when bigger, tougher challenges come your way.
Yes, there is some tips on how to accept reality. There's the first one that is notice when you're fighting against reality. The second one is to remind yourself that you can change what has already happened. The third is to embrace your feelings and pretend that you're accepting reality. Relax your body, or to use coping statements. And the last is to know that it takes practice. We hope it could help you with your struggles in accepting reality, guys. But to complete today's episode, we have one quote for you that I will read myself since it's just a few words. So here it is. The truth is, unless you let go, unless you forgive yourself, unless you forgive the situation, unless you realize that the situation is over, you cannot move forward. Well, I guess that's all for today's episode. It was nice talking with you guys. You guys were amazing. And for you guys, our listeners and viewers, thank you for taking the time to listen to our podcast. And while you guys here, please leave a like, comment down below if you have something to say to us, and our Spotify will be linked down below. You can check and follow. So yeah, that's all.
We're from Saturn Crew. Bye for now.
Bye!